Hello, hello, hello. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach, and I want to welcome you to the Heartline Heart Talk with Adelai Brown. And I set today's date to launch the new podcast, The Heartline. The Heartline, excuse my accent and everything. You'll get used to this good old Gullah Geechee real soon. Um, But to be in integrity with myself, I wanted to go ahead and launch today. So I am live on YouTube and I am in the process of setting up this podcasting material. I'm in the process of just working on some things, but I wanted to go ahead and get started because that's really what the Heartline is about. The Heartline is about us building heart equity together. The Heartline is a space. This podcast is designed to support you and encourage you and teach you how to create and generate personal, relational, and financial wealth through authentic living. I have been heart coaching for over 10 years now. It's pretty much who I am. And I'm really thankful to be relaunching Heart Talk in the form of a podcast, The Heartline. Um, and right now I'm kind of all over the place, but as we go through, um, you will see as we go through, I'll share more. But like I said, for the sake of getting started today, I just wanted to go ahead and go live on YouTube while, I figure some of these other things that are going on with my computer. What in the world is going on here? Anywho, what I wanted to talk to you today about is blooming where you are planted. Blooming where you are planted. What does that mean? When you bloom where you're planted, what you're doing is you are making the most of your circumstance and your situation. A lot like what I'm doing today. Um, as a heart coach, I've been working with individuals to confront matters of the heart so that they can authentically transform their lives. And with this moment of us, God gave me this idea that we need to build heart equity. Like people know how to build sweat equity and they build equity in their investments. But what we need to do in this season of our lives is work on building heart equity, work on building up ourselves, building up our soul, building up our spirit, building up our physical bodies so that we can um, um, change our communities, change our lives. And, like I said, I just wanted to get on today because I knew it was time for me to relaunch Heart Talk. You can expect a new video every Monday. It may be a live video, it may be a pre-recorded video, but you can expect a new video on here every Monday. I'm asking you to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'm looking forward to us growing together. The Heartline is a space that we'll be able to come in and I'll share my thoughts. I'll have guests on and different people coming in, and we're really focusing on doing the heart work, doing the work, being vulnerable, open our hearts so that we can transform our lives. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to hear that. A lot of people don't like to talk about being vulnerable. A lot of people don't like to talk about the things that trigger them, the things that upset them, the things that anger them. But what I want to share with you today is that what I want to um, one moment, I'm just doing something really quick. Like, let's see here. All right. So what I'm doing today is just pretty much one, keeping the commitment to myself that I was going to launch the Heartline today, and two, I want to encourage you that if there's something that you've been working on, something that you've been wanting to do, and you might have been putting it off, you might have been saying, I'm gonna do it, but you're waiting for the perfect situation and the perfect scenario, just know that that's never going to happen. You're never going to have the perfect situation. You're never going to have the perfect scenario, but you have to move forward and do it anyway. You have to move forward and get it done. I'm working on getting, I'm going to be working with some people to be producing the podcast and everything. But at this moment, I said on Monday I was going to start via that being live on YouTube. No matter what that is, I'm trying to get this mic set up, trying to get some other things set up. But I decided, you know what? Let me just go ahead and go live and just kind of let people see what's going on. You see, I got my nice pretty mic here, and I'm really getting myself prepared, getting myself in a posture of sharing my message, of being consistent with this podcast, because I realize that this needs to be done. So I just want to encourage you, wherever you are, whatever you have going on, it's time for you to get it done. It's time for you to move forward in the things that God is calling you to do. I don't care if you don't know exactly how it's going to work out. I don't care if the people that you want to support you the most aren't supporting you. I don't care if you don't have all the answers. I don't care if you can't get it done perfectly. You have to get it done. Done is better than good. And I'm not just telling you this just to tell you this. I'm telling you this because I'm living it. While I'm trying to set this up and time is going on, a couple of things I'm reminded of. One, connect to the help you have in place. I have people in place to help me. I will be reaching out to them for more help. The next thing that is coming to me is do it anyway. Do it anyway. The only way you're going to grow, the only way that you're going to expand, the only way you're going to be the best version of yourself is you got to get out there. You're going to have to jump. You're going to have to attempt to fly. And you're going to have to trust that God is going to work it out for you as you go through this process. Why is this thing doing this to me? Why is it doing this to me, y'all? So what about you? Where are you right now in your life? What are you currently going through? Are you in a setup phase like I am? Are you in a space right now where you know that it's time for you to make a move? Is it a book that you're writing? Is it a business that you have to start? Is it a move that it's time for you to make? What is it that you need to do? Huh? It's time for you to do it. I started Heart Talk on September the 1st, 2014, and it was a calling by God. It was something that He told me to do. Heart Talk was a combination of like Bible study mixed with life coaching. And that's where the whole idea of heart coaching comes from, because the idea of heart coaching is a version of coaching where we focus on helping you be the best version of yourself from the inside out. We want to get to the root of why you want to do what you do so that we can authentically work towards your goals. Now, if you are trying to work towards goals because you're trying to prove to your parents that you can do it, or your first grade teacher told you you would never amount to anything and you want to prove them wrong, those are not the goals that I'm trying to help you achieve. I really don't have time to waste my time trying to get you to achieve goals and work towards accolades because you're trying to fill a void or trying to hide an insecurity that you have. I am not in the business of trying to encourage you to dig a deeper hole to bury yourself in. I am, however, in the business of helping you plant seeds so that they can produce a great harvest in your life. And how do we do that? We do have to sow and dig and plant seeds, and we have to remove the rocks and the things that come up when we're digging. But we're doing it because you're following the reason why you were created. We're doing it because you're connecting to all the things, the beautiful things that God is doing in your life. I have no desire to help you try to boss up on somebody or try to create an image of yourself because you're trying to mask an insecurity. I have done too much work and I've worked with too many people to be in a situation right now where I want to sit here and help you do things for the gram, do things for the book, do things so that you can go viral, or try to present you or your family in some kind of way that is not true or authentic to you. So if you're in the business of playing around, if you're in the business of putting on for people because you got to prove them something, this is not the podcast for you. If you are the type of person that does not want to confront the issues that are bothering you, if you like to blame others, if you're not like really looking to get to the bottom of why you are the way you are, why you're doing the things that you're doing, this is not the podcast for you. If you are the type of person that is not willing to self-reflect and kind of look at yourself and see what's going on, and really tap in and see what God is trying to tell you, this is not the podcast for you. This is not the podcast for you if you're trying to pretend. This is not the place for you if you're trying to this is not the place for you if you're trying to present an image of yourself that is not authentic to who God created you to be. This is not the podcast for you. And you know, one of the things I could tell you about this podcast is I'm learning as I go, and I'm inviting you on the journey. Hence, this live on YouTube. Next week, it might be something a little different. The week after that, it could be, because right now I'm figuring it out. But I'm going to figure it out with y'all. We're going to do this together. The Heartline, we're on this growth movement. We're building heart equity. Equity is all about building personal, relational, and financial wealth through authentic living. And that's what the Heartline is about. It's a place that we can come to reflect. It's a place that we can come to be nourished, to be refreshed, to be enlightened, to be uplifted. Sometimes it'll be just me by myself. Sometimes I'll have on other people who really impact my life and have transformed my life and done amazing things in my life, or people that I admire. And so I just welcome you on this journey with me. Sometimes I'll jump on and do things with my family, or talk about, you know, whatever's going on in my life, because I truly believe that we're supposed to be doing life together. I believe that this is a village that we're growing. This is a movement that's being made, and I just welcome you on this journey. So if you resonate with this, please like this video, put some comments down there, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others that you think are ready to grow and learn. I'm gonna tell you, this isn't for everybody. This podcast is not for people who are superficial. This podcast is not for anyone who is willing to continuously keep secrets and cover up the issues that are going on in their life. This is not for you. This is for people who are serious. They want to see transformation in themselves. They want to see authentic transformation in their families. They want to feel good about themselves when they look in the mirror. They want to feel good about themselves when they show up in environments, and when they don't feel good about themselves, they want to put into practice the tools and skills that they gain in this village so that they can live better. Everybody here understands that we are generational curse breakers. Your family might have been dealing with something or going through something, but when you get on the Heartline, this is where those patterns are being broken. Those generational patterns, or we breaking that stuff. Those negative thoughts and feelings and behaviors that we've been acting in, we're not dealing with that. I'm going to be addressing a lot of things that we look at and we have accepted, especially in the Black culture. I'm going to be talking a lot to my ladies and my fellas out there, my generation, those of us who have parents, and some grandparents we're taking care of, but we also have children. We also have children. Thank you, Amate's Cuisine. I love it. We also have children that we're taking care of, who are we realize are the leaders. We're back. Yes, awesome. I'm so glad that I'm learning all of this. So we're back. But what's happening here is we are adopting a new way of living. We're doing the hard work so that we can live our lives in a way that is transformational. And the thing that what transformational living is as a definition that I would define it as, is authentic living. Transformational living is the type of integrity and character that you live with every day that shifts the atmospheres that you're in. People around you know that you're different. They know that you're not like everyone else. One thing that I've learned on this journey of doing heart talk and being a heart coach, and I will be sharing extensively about my story on this podcast, because that's one of the reasons why God has me here, to share my story, and I'm very clear on that, and I'm cool with that. But one of the things that we have to understand is we are so inclined to feel like we need to protect ourselves. We need to put things in place, and I like to call it armor up. So that we can kind of protect ourselves from rejection, protect ourselves from failure. We don't, a lot of times we don't say it, but we live our lives like that. And so what we're going to do in this podcast is understand how much vulnerability is really a strength. This is not a Christian podcast, though I am a believer in Jesus Christ. I welcome everybody on this podcast, but I'm going to refer a lot to Christ, and I'll quote scriptures and things, because these things have really enriched my life and the lives of those that I've come into contact with. And I say that because I truly believe that if we're going to live an effective life, we have to take on the mind of Christ. And taking on the mind of Christ, you have to understand that you live a very secure life, but you're vulnerable, but you understand that your vulnerability is a strength. When what I realize in doing the work and supporting others as they do the work, as you hear me refer to it, the heart work, is that it's so easy for us to convince ourselves and trick ourselves that I don't have an issue. I'm okay. When people ask us every day, how you doing? What's going on with you? I'm good. I'm okay. When all the while you could be dying inside, just absolutely miserable. But we're so wired and we're so programmed to say that I'm okay. When you get on the heart line, you're going to understand that this is a safe space. This is a space for you to come in and kind of look at yourself. I encourage you to have your journal or a notebook or something with you, so that when you hear certain things, or we may be sharing, certain thoughts may come to mind. Don't think light of those things, right? Start to pay attention to what your body is saying when you're around certain people, when you hear certain things, when you're in different atmospheres and environments. One of the things about the heart line is we're learning how to listen to our heart more, because the Bible tells us that that's how the Lord is going to judge us. And so I feel like I'm here to help you build equity in your heart. What is heart equity? Getting your heart straight, getting your emotions and your mental abilities in line with your spirituality and what God is calling you to do in your life. Because you out here trying to live for somebody else, you out here trying to do what you think everybody else is doing, you chasing the bag, you trying to boss up, you trying to get all these accolades and try to get all of these things done in your life, not necessarily because that's what you want. You just doing that because that's what everybody else is doing, and you thinking, well, once I get this, once I get that dollar amount in the bank, once I go on that vacation, once I get that house or get that car, I'll be better. And I just feel like I had to come by and let you know you won't. Because the issue that you have isn't external. There isn't something that you can go get outside of you and bring it back that's going to change how you feel. It's going to change those inner thoughts. This is something that you have to work on from the inside out. That's what Paul tells us in Philippians when he was writing to the Philippians. He said, you're going to have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. And I am on the heart line with you because I know it's scary when you decide you want to live your best life. I know it's scary when you decide, hey, I don't want to be like that. I might be from the hood, but I ain't trying to live that hood life no more. I might be from poverty, but I don't want to have a poverty mindset. I might have been abused, but I don't want to live like a victim anymore. That's why you're here. That's what we're doing on the Heartline. So I just wanted to get on the day and just, kind of chat about just chat about that. I knew I was getting started today. I just knew I just had to go live and I had to do something. Um, but I just wanted to kind of serve notice. I know I'll jump on every now and again and do some shorts, but I just wanted to let you know that I'll be here. I'll be here weekly. Be looking out for me. Check me out on the website, theheartconnections.com. Got some new websites coming. Got a lot of new things coming. And so my thing to you right now is to be on the lookout for what I'm doing, but also use this as an opportunity to get some encouragement to get out there and do what it is that you need to do. Because there's work that you need to do. You don't know how much longer you have on this earth. Like you don't know. Like you could be healthy. You could have all of these things going on, and then some freak accident could happen. You don't know. But you need to make the most of the situation that you're in right now. You need to make the most of where you are in your life right now. That's what I'm doing. There are all kind of thoughts playing in my head. Well, you've been doing this long enough. You could have this set up a little different. You can have this set up in a different way. I could do a lot of different things, but I also know I was going to get on here today. This podcast might not look like this next week and the week after. But stick with me, we going to go far. I promise you that. My friend tell me that. Stick with me, we going far. And that's what I'm going to tell you. Stick with me because we going far. We are not looking back. Like Andre 3000 said, spaceships don't come equipped with rearview mirrors. What does that mean? We're not looking back. We going forward. So whatever work you have to do, whatever things you got to confront, let's do it. Let's deal with it. Stop blaming people for your issues. Stop being passive aggressive. Stop being manipulative. Stop being sneaky. Deal with why you feel like you need to act like that. Let's confront it. And you're probably like, well, how are we going to confront this? Let me tell you something very practical. Get you a journal and just start writing down. This is one of the first steps I'm going to give y'all. And I promise you, you're going to hear me say this a lot. I'm going to encourage you to whip out your journals and to start writing. But whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you're going through, what I'm encouraging you to is acknowledge it. Stop acting like you okay when you know you're not okay. The other thing I want to encourage you to do is start really thinking about what you really want in your life. What do you want? Not what your parents want, not what your friends want, not even what your spouse wants or your partner or your significant other. What do you want in your life? Because your calling, your gifting is aligned with the things that excite you, the things that come easy to you, the things that come natural to you. You know another reason why you're upset and you're miserable? Because you're overwhelming your life with busy work and things that are taken away from the fruitfulness of you just being yourself. You got to get out of the habit of doing things because you feel like you have to do it. You got to start doing things because you delighting yourself in the Lord. And this is what is leading you to. That's why I'm here today. I am delighted in talking to you. Whether you here now or whether you listening to the replay, you might be checking this out 10 years from now, but I'm thankful that you took the time to listen to this. And I hope that this encourages you. Me, getting myself set up, trying to get my mic and all my things together. Hey, but we are here. So I want you to start journaling about where you are right now. And also where you want to be. I can hear you now. Oh, I don't write. I don't do all of that. Well, that's why your life is the way it is. Because you have all these stipulations about you don't do this and you don't do that. That might be for people like you. Well, Adelai, you journal because you're the author. I'm not an author like you. I didn't think I was an author either. But speaking and sharing my story, those things come naturally to me. And so because of that, the Lord allowed me to be an author from that. What comes naturally to you? What things do you do in your sleep? What things do you do for free? that might drive other people crazy, but it's easy for you. You don't realize God is trying to bring something through to you. But you have to give him access. You have to allow him to do this in your life. Where are you wanting God to fix something in your life that you have not given him access? Where? Because I really need you to give him access. Like, I'm telling you, this is why I went live. Because I knew today, around 12 o'clock, I needed to do this. So I'm having internet issues, the computer's acting crazy. None of this stuff was going on before. It was time to really start recording. So you know what I did? I know my phone worked. I know I could pull up this YouTube app on this phone. So let's go live here. I'll get it together as the week goes on. These things will come together as we go. But this needed to get done now. Because I truly believe if it's one person in the 2 billion people that watch YouTube that could see even a clip of this and it encourages them to get out there and do what they need to do, do it. It's so easy to look at other people and be deceived and be and compare ourselves. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Just get out and do your thing. But don't rob yourself and others the beauty of connection because you're just, you're trying to protect yourself, so you're just keeping it all to yourself. You're not trying to share. You're not trying to put yourself out there. You're trying to be safe, and being safe is not going to get you the life that you want to live. Another thing I want to encourage you to do, and this is why I want you to journal, is I want you to start telling yourself the truth. I really want you to stop lying to yourself. It's one thing if you don't want to come out and tell other people the truth. I can understand that. Sometimes you have to process the truth for yourself. However, it's not cool when you're not telling yourself the truth. It is not cool when you are insisting on lying to yourself. What happens is it physically will make you sick. It will make your physical body sick. Because your body is trying to understand, why are you being deceitful to us? Like, I feel a certain way, but you're trying to convince me and those in this atmosphere that we feel another way, and we don't. That's why a lot of people, as they get older, they cannot overcome a lot of their childhood issues. And we'll talk about that. Because what happens is you've ignored your body for so long. When you get older, your body you can't ignore it. So what happens is, okay, something happened in your past and mentally you don't remember, but anytime you're in an environment or a situation that reminds your body of that situation that happened in your past, your body will react. That's why a lot of times people have panic attacks. They don't even know what happened. They just find themselves in a situation that's like, now they can't breathe. Now they feel like they're about to have a heart attack. What is that all about? This is because they're not telling themselves the truth. They're in a deficit mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and therefore their body is reacting to that. That's why heart equity is a movement, because we're getting our heart straight. We're getting our hearts even out. We're bringing justice to our thought process and the way that we show up in the world, and that's what builds wealth. We get so caught up on dollars and cents, literally. But what I'm talking about is the type of wealth that helps you sleep at night. That your family loves you and they love to be around you and you love to be around them. And people in your community are delighted to see you because you're such an asset and not a liability to them. So many people are walking around dressed nice, smelling good, looking good, and feeling absolutely miserable and depleted in their lives. And I don't want that to be you. But I have a feeling if that's not you, that has been you at some point in time. And that's why we're on the Heartline right now. Because we really want to uplift and encourage one another to not stay there, to not stay stuck. So it's a lot of things we're going to be talking about. For the last, 10 or 15 years, I've really been working on my relationship with my parents. There was a season in my life where I hated my mom and my dad. And then I know that doesn't sound good, but the truth of the matter is, like, that is my reality. That's where my life was. I hated both of my parents because I felt like they abandoned me, they neglected me, they weren't there for me, and I built up a certain personality and persona around that anger and hurt and bitterness. And so for the last 15, 20 years now, I've been working on that. And the Lord has really, when you hear me talk about the Lord, I'm talking about Yeshua, HaMashiach, how we know him here as Jesus Christ. But I've had some spiritual experiences that have brought me to this place. And it's brought me to a place where I feel a responsibility to share my experiences and my stories with you, however they come out. The more I want this to be perfect and right and crisp and clear and clean cut, that's not happening. But I also know that that is also a testament. One is about preparation, but then the other piece too, you can prepare all day, but things happen. So what do you do with that? You got to keep moving. And I have always lived my life like that. But the one thing that I'm learning now is I don't have to live my life like that with a chip on my shoulder. Like, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to prove to my dad that I'm worth being loved. I've been there. I've done that. I've made me, my husband, my kids, all of us have paid for my daddy issues. That's why I don't want you to keep going through that. So I'll talk about a lot of those things on this podcast. And I also want to hear from you. In the comments, you can message me. You can go to the website, theheartconnections.com. You can go to contact me there and leave messages about what do you want to talk about? What do you want to hear when you jump on the hotline? It's important. I want this to be very intentional. I want this to be an environment where you feel like you're included, where you feel like you're not alone, where you know every Monday you can get some encouragement and some uplifting for the new week. And so this is just my introduction. I'm going to continue to work on getting this set up. And you know, work on preparing for next week and everything that we're doing. But this is where we are. This is what we're doing. We are on the Heart Line, Heart Talk with Adelai Brown. And I'm just really excited about this. You know, in all honesty, it was really hard for me to say, you know what, let me just push through. Let me just do this. The Wi-Fi is acting crazy. I put myself in a position to have a stronger Wi-Fi, to have my computer set up, have the microphone, have everything together, and things happen. But guess what? We're on the Heart Line. Whew. I'm excited. I did an event last week, and it was amazing. I had an amazing group of women in there. And the topic of the event was to bloom where you're planted. And so what I want to share with you today is the whole idea of blooming where you're planted. When something blooms, that's when it's at its most fruitful or most productive. That's when it's like its most beautiful time. And things bloom in season. So you can have a plant or something that was planted, but it didn't necessarily bloom. You can go through a winter season. You can go through a fall season. You can go through a summer season, a spring season, and depending on when your bloom is, your flower or your fruit is set to bloom, different things bloom in different seasons. So one of the models that I want us to take from this podcast and from today is to bloom where you're planted, right? You don't know what circumstances are going to come at you. You don't know what situations are going to come. You don't know how you're going to process those things. But all you do know is that you just have to make up in your mind, set an intention, and work towards that intention. My intention today and every day is to bring God glory through the way that I'm living my life. The way that he's called me to. Not trying to be like anybody else, not trying to act like anybody else, not trying to do any of those things. That can be a challenge sometimes. especially when I'm operating in areas where I'm dealing with some form of insecurity, where I don't feel as well versed or as knowledgeable as I do in others. But the thing that I'm understanding is this is how we grow. We have to walk by faith and not by sight. The Bible tells us when we talk about planting, it says one plants, one waters, but the Lord provides the increase. And I was talking with my brother the other day, and he reminded me, a lot of times we get focused on growing a thing because we want the fruit from that thing or we want the flower from that thing. But in order to have the most fruitful fruit or produce or harvest, you have to take care of the whole garden. It's not just about growing that one particular plant to get a fruit or to get a beautiful flower, but it's about nurturing the entire garden and then just seeing what type of fruits and flowers come up, and then just seeing what type of fruits and flowers come up from that nurturing. But when you nurture the garden, it requires you to pay more attention. That nurturing. But when you nurture the garden, it requires you to pay more attention. It requires you to slow down, to reflect, to be more aware, to be more connected. And so what I'm saying to you today is it's time for you to bloom where planted. But the only way you're going to do that is if you start to nurture your garden, nurture the garden of your personal health, nurture the garden of your relational health, nurture the garden of your financial health. What does that mean? Start taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and in turn start paying attention to how you interact with yourself and the world around you. What type of relationships do you have? Are they hostile? Are they peaceful? What things get under your skin? What things get you excited and get you happy? How are you taking care of yourself? Right? Financially, what type of things are you doing? How are you showing up in the earth? What kind of provisions are you receiving or creating in your life? All of this is dealing with blooming where you're planted. A lot of times we like to pick apart different parts of ourselves and we'll say, well, who I am at work and who I am at home and who I am with my friends versus who I am with my family. Let me tell you something. You are convincing yourself that you all these different people, but the truth of the matter is you are all in this one. You are this complex being. You don't understand why the flower sprouts out when it does, when the bloom is going to come, but you do need to focus on watering, and you do need to focus on planting so that the Lord can provide your increase, which is your bloom and your blossom. And that's why you're on the Heartline. That's why you're going to be here. That's why you're going to subscribe, you're going to share, you're going to like, and you're going to let others know. Because you're finding a space to get watered, to get uplifted, to be revived, to be refreshed, to get that boost. That's what we're here to do for one another. That's why I'm the heart coach, because I focus on matters of the heart so that people can authentically transform their lives. Because there's a lot of transformation going out here. Look, the plastic surgeons are booked up. It's a lot of transformation going on out here. But is it authentic? That's what I want you to think about. So this has been the first official live version of the Heartline, Heart Talk with Adelai Brown. I don't know exactly how long this one is, but we'll be back every Monday. You can expect the pod to launch around noon. It might be live, it might be pre-recorded, but it will be very relevant to where we are right now in this season. Remember to like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, help us move this mission forward. And if you have any topics you want us to talk about, if you have anything you want to hear or any guests or types of guests you want us to bring on, let me know, because I'm working on that. I want to make sure that it's very relevant, but I'm also very intentional about sharing what's on my heart, because I feel like there's some people out there going through things and you will never tell anybody what you're going through. But God hears your secret prayers, and that's why he's raising up people like me, people like you, to start speaking to those that others might not be talking to. But you're the powerhouse. You're the one that's the curse breaker in your family. You're the one that's going to do something new. You're the one that's going to do something different. But it doesn't look like how it looks before. I believe in you. I know you can do it. I know you have what it takes. So let's encourage one another. So come on into this village. Get on this hotline with us every Monday. Be on the lookout. Get on our email list. Check the website. All of that stuff will be going on. Just be on the lookout. Just pray for us. It's coming, okay? We going far. Remember, we are going far. Um, but yeah, that's what I have for today. You might see me again, you might not, but you will definitely see me by next week, Monday. And I'm so thankful that you took the time to be here. I'm so thankful that you took the time to support, to subscribe, to comment, to like, to share. And just know that when you heal your heart, you transform your life. And we're going to do that together. I love y'all. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach, signing out to the Heartline. Heart Talk with Adelai Brown. I will see you next week.